Shalom Aleichem, blessed souls. This is Dhamma Talk, and I figured that since we're now coming in for a landing on the month of redemption, the festival of redemption, Pesach, Passover, I should continue to elaborate based on some inspirational talks given by the Lubavitcher Rebbe, direct descendant of Shlomo Melech, King Solomon, and David Melech, King David. And we're investigating, trying to get a little deeper into opening up the dialogue for options for redemption. Because there are those who want to promote the idea that there has to be blood and guts spilled all over the place to bring the Arya Shel Yehuda, the line of Judah, and the Gula Mitzvah Shlema, the complete and true redemption. But it ain't necessarily so. Because this is based on a perception, basically, of the type of service which involves war, which is basically stressing the idea that evil or lack of awareness has a true existence in the creation. And of course, we're not going to deny that there is an evil in the creation, but the ultimate tokef, the ultimate strength of evil, is absolutely nothing compared to the absolute strength of peace and goodness which emanates from the Most High, the creator of all this creation. Because we see the essential action of the Most High is to give life, not to cause death. That there, yes, has been decreed death and suffering on this world. This is a matter of discussion which is too broad for the context of this brief video here on YouTube. However, one can certainly do some research into the Pnimius of Torah, the inner dimensions of Torah, which can go deeper into those subject matters, death and suffering. But I'm not going to cover that here, as much as I want to emphasize the idea of the avoda, the divine service of peace, in which we don't need war anymore. One example of this was in the days of the kings of Israel, with Cheskiah Melech, I think you say Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, who at that time was besieged by the king Sancherib from Ashur. I don't know exactly if that was geographically in the land of Syria, that we call Syria today, but 180,000 troops were camped outside the stronghold of Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, and Hezekiah, the king, King Hezekiah, Cheskel Melech, did not put up a fight. In fact, he said, "I'm going to sleep upon my bed," and there was no need for war. Because the type of faith that Hezekiah had, Cheskel Melech had, was, if a man is to toil in this world, which his ancestor wrote about. Who was his ancestor? His ancestor, I'm sorry, that wasn't from his ancestor, that was actually from Job. Eov said that man was born to toil. But what type of toiling? Well, the type of toiling that Hezekiah, Cheskel Melech, stressed was toiling in doing good, not in the idea of turning from evil. Meaning, if we're going to invest our precious human energy in every ounce of strength that we have, every second we breathe in the spirit of life from the Most High, every moment of our life is precious, and no one could put a monetary value on it, regardless of what he or she have on their bank accounts and IRA accounts, or gold or silver, whatever mineral precious jewels they have invested in. The very act of getting the spirit of life into our nostrils and our mouth and bringing it down to our lungs, which is called the exterior aspect of our heart, Chitzonius Lev, the Pnimius Lev, the inner dimensions of the heart. This is worth more than all this silver and gold in the world, because it's coming from the Most High. So when we take that energy and we invest it in doing good, There's no chance at that point of doing evil because we've made a choice, a very good and wise choice, to invest our energies in spreading concepts of life, to end all war and eradicate strife. And this is a very intense type of service, to solely invest one's energies and lifestyle into seeking good. Yes, in the course of the day we will encounter things which are not so good, but we can try to rectify that thing which is not so good, not by striking with the hand, and not by rebuking in a stinging fashion which just elicits more hatred towards ourselves and into the creation. And one can learn more about that from Tosfos, who was one of the great commentators on the oral tradition of Pesach, in the Talmudic tractate Pesach, in Daf Kuf Yud Gimel Amud Beis, where in that Talmudic tractate, the oral tradition, as we call it, one of the three characteristics that the Most High considers to be a beloved attribute, a person who calls the Most High to love that person, is that when one is insulted, one does not seek retribution from the person who just insulted him or her. So when you're doing good, and you know it's good, because you have a basis, some sort of value system, and hopefully it's rooted in Torah, and even if it's involved in some sort of ethical human reasoning, such as giving charity, helping people deal with their emotional stress and their financial problems, and sometimes their intellectual difficulties, you can be assured that you're doing what is restoring the creation back to a level of mercy that it was originally intended to be for all the generations. And what empowers this doing of good, blessed souls, is the line or the service of Torah. That even though it says by Torah, as it says in Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 29, are not my words like fire? Which seems to be something of might and could harm, but the beauty of fire, the Aish of Torah, is that it cannot be contaminated by even intentions of the person learning it or teaching it, which might be, unfortunately, sometimes for self-aggrandizement and for the ego. So if a person takes in the wrong type of intention with their learning, to spread a teaching, but does it also with the kavanah, intention, that there should be more peace in the world, rest assured, that time that person used the energy to spread good, kindness, and mercy, they couldn't have been involved in evil. And what would happen if millions and millions and billions of people start engaging in doing good? There's no time to engage in evil and therefore make warfare. This is Dhamma Talk, signing off. A little truncated. That's not my smoothest presentation, but it's such a serious matter to bring peace into this world through going good. And again, this is part 2 of Options for Redemption. Hopefully we'll continue in the future. In the meantime, Sababa, rejoice. Ahav Echad. One love. Gorel Echad. One destiny. Ukulanu for all of us. Bahashem Echad, in the one Creator.